Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Jim Reads Too Slow. I'm Jim, and I read classics, science fiction, fantasy, and a few other genres, mostly older literary fiction though. But this month I'm also reading some horror stories because it's horror mayhem. Can't let that slip by. I'm a little late, as usual, but better late than never. Horror mayhem was created by the late beloved Scott Bryant and his wife Becky, the Bookish Bryants. And this is the fourth annual event. Horror, as I've said many times in the past, is not really my genre of choice. But this event has helped me to broaden my tastes, read authors I probably would never have read otherwise, and I have had a lot of fun with it over the past few years. So I thank the Bookish Bryants from the bottom of my heart for getting me involved in this. And Becky, I hope you're doing well. So with that being said, I have been reading primarily stories written by Thomas Ligotti, mostly from this Penguin Classic edition, which combines the short story anthologies Songs of a Dead Dreamer and The Grimscribe. I've read so far, I've read The Frolic. I started reading Thomas Ligotti with The Frolic, which was a big mistake, which I'll talk about a little later. I read Fleur, Alice's Last Adventure, the Nyctalops Trilogy, which includes the Chymist, Drink to Me Only with Labyrinthine Eyes, and The Eye of the Lynx. Then I read Dr. Voke and Mr. Veech and The Sect of the Idiot. Finally, I read a story that is not in this collection, but it's in a collection entitled Teatro Grottesco, entitled The Red Tower. Okay, so Ligotti, if you don't already know, is a writer of weird supernatural horror who owes a lot to Edgar Allan Poe and especially to H.P. Lovecraft. The Rambling Raconteur did a video a few years ago on this book, and I would recommend looking it up if you're at all interested in reading Ligotti's work. His stories can be dark, disturbing, unsettling. They can be brutal. They're certainly pessimistic. There's some cosmic horror here. He spells out his philosophy in his nonfiction book, The Conspiracy Against the Human Race. And it's not really a positive philosophy as far as our existence as intelligent beings is concerned. He sees life as a mistake. So Ligotti tends in his work to focus on inanimate creatures, mannequins, puppets, stuffed animals, things that may or may not actually be alive. Uh, Also, fair warning, he touches on some very sensitive subjects. For example, the first story I read, The Frolic, it deals with a serial killer who targets children. My advice would be if you want to read Ligotti, don't start with this one. If you read it at all. But he can also be, on the other hand, laugh out loud funny, depending, of course, on your sense of humor. Case in point is the story, The Red Tower, that I mentioned. It's about a factory that is both mysterious and horrific. The factory just suddenly appears out in a field. There's no way to get to it, no doors in it. And it kind of fades in and out of reality. Has it closed down? Maybe, but it still could be in operation. It produces novelty items that are described as morbid, disgusting, and nightmarish. Now, the descriptions of these items is they're priceless, as is the description of the distribution system of these items. Another story, Fleur, describes a plant slash creature that the narrator explains away to a prospective girlfriend as a failed sculpture that he has worked on. Kind of a cactus that has what looks like tongues covered with teeth all over it. This is a kind of a cosmic horror story. There's a cultish group whose members, including the narrator, from time to time want to share their reality with humans. But if a prospective mate or a whatever friend can't go along with it, they have nothing against eliminating this person. I also really like Drink to Me Only with Labyrinthine Eyes, part of that trilogy. It's a story of a hypnotist who works private parties. And as part of his shtick, his lovely assistant in the after party dances with all of the party goers, and then he leaves her behind when he goes. The story, while it's not really funny, it is one of my favorites. So far, along with the Red Tower. Wow, it's really raining outside. Okay, Dr. Voke and Mr. Veech involves puppets and a guy who wants to get his love interest boyfriend out of the picture. I figured that much out about this story. I read it twice though, and I still don't think I quite get it. And finally, the Sect of the Idiot. It's a very Lovecraftian story. It includes a lot of Ligotti's themes in it. It has powerful hooded creatures who are actually in control, but they're in turn controlled by even more powerful, unseen forces or creatures. And humanity is as tiny, insignificant, and meaningless. Okay, so I'll end on that happy note. I'm going to keep reading Ligotti, though. I've had this book for quite a while, and I do want to get through it. Let me know what you think of Thomas Ligotti. If you've read him before, what your favorite stories are. If you like him, if you don't like him, what you like or don't like about him. I'm really interested because he's an author you don't really hear a lot about. You do hear some, but not a ton. But get out there and read some horror stories. There are a ton of great hosts this year for Horror Mayhem. I'll include a list in my notes. Please check them all out. I hope you're well. I hope you're reading every day, but don't forget to get some fresh air too. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back with another video soon. But until then, have a good one, BookTube.